What's up guys? In this video we will be testing a new projector called AUN U002. Also, this is the first projector from AUN on our channel. I know it is a popular Chinese manufacturer. You can buy their projectors and projector screens on AliExpress. There are many different models available there, from the most budget to more expensive. In the case of our AUN U002, it is one of the most expensive and flagship projectors of the company. You can buy it for $245 right now. However, the price may vary depending on promotions, availability, and even your country local taxes and import duties. So it is better to follow the link in description and check how much the projector costs for you. However, compared to many projectors on Amazon, it is still very affordable. In brief about main features, the projector has 1080p native resolution from 10 to 12,000 lumens brightness, autofocus, and Android 12 operating system. We will test this projector in detail and find out if it is worth buying. So the AUN U002 projector comes in this box. Since it was shipped from China, the box was a bit damaged. I hope the projector inside is fine. We can see its main features on the side of the box, such as 4K support, screen sharing, surgeon base, 300-inch projection size, autofocus, and auto Keystone. I think the projector is fine, because it is additionally packed in styrofoam inside. But first, let's take a look at the accessories. Here we have a power cable, HDMI cable, remote control, cloth, and a user manual. Now we can unpack the projector. It's pretty big and heavy, but I already like its design. So that's all you get with this projector. Since I have already started talking about size and weight, let's get to the actual numbers. The dimensions of the AUN U002 projector are 280 by 275 by 114 mm. The weight is 2965 grams. Well, it is not the biggest projector I have had. It cannot be called compact and portable. I don't think it's meant to be carried around, but rather installed in one spot in your living room or a bedroom. However, I don't want to hide this projector because it looks really expensive and premium. I think it is because of its combination of matte gray body, glossy black front panel, and these gold elements. It even has a gold 4K support logo, but only support, not native resolution. We can also see a lens as well as autofocus and Keystone correction sensor on the front panel. The side panels have large grills and most likely the speakers are located there. The back panel has two ventilation windows as well as power connector, infrared receiver, headphone jack, two HDMI ports, and two USB ports. The AUN U002 projector stands on 4 rubber feet. It also has a kickstand. But no tripod mount, because very few tripods can support its weight. If you need to mount the projector on a tripod and then use a laptop tripod stand, it looks like this. Finally, there's only one power button on top, so you will need the remote control. Although it is made of quite cheap plastic, it has a useful cursor button as well as manual focus adjustment. By the way, the projector doesn't have a dust filter because it uses a sealed optical engine. It is already protected from dust ingress. The manufacturer promises up to 10 years of the lifespan. So the AUN U002 projector really looks stylish and premium. Although it is quite large in size, but that can be good for cooling. We will check the noise and heating levels a little later, but for now, let's turn it on and look at the operating system. The new AUN projector runs on Android operating system. I have seen this system many times before on different projectors. It already has some pre-installed apps such as YouTube, Netflix, Spotify, and Prime Video. There are also hot movies, sports videos, and travel vlogs on the homepage. Among the other pre-installed apps are Bluetooth speaker, TV casting, Miracast, File Manager, Google Play Store, and WPS Projector. You can also install video apps, music apps, and news apps. You know I'm interested in streaming services, so we have Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, and Disney Plus on the homepage. In fact, these apps are not installed yet, but we are just about to do that. You know, it doesn't seem to be an official Netflix app. I know it looks different on Netflix certified projectors. Let's also install Prime Video. Just like with Netflix, it is not an official app. I just got the idea to look for the official apps in the Google Play Store. Unfortunately, there is no Netflix here. But I see Prime Video. Yes, this Prime Video app is the official one, and I would recommend using it instead of the first one. As you can see, now we have two Prime Video apps. Okay, now let's take a look at the settings. First, we have network settings, where we can connect to a Wi-Fi network. The projector settings include projection, zoom settings, horizontal, vertical, and Hall. Autofocus and auto-trapezoid, auto-obstacle avoidance or auto-access screen, focus, and trapezoid settings. You can also disable autofocus and auto-trapezoid and use manual 4-point trapezoid and 4-side trapezoid. The other settings on this projector are input source, media center, software update, Bluetooth, boot source, language, and system. In the system settings, we have some useful options, such as brightness, eye protection mode, accounts, inputs, and apps. By the way, we can go to the About Projector menu and see that it runs Android 12 and it has 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage. Finally, there is a memory cleaner in the settings of the AUN U002 Projector. Unfortunately, I didn't find the picture settings here, so we cannot select the picture mode or change the contrast, saturation, sharpness, and make other picture adjustments. Talking about autofocus and auto-keystone correction, they work very well. I didn't use the manual focus on the remote at all, because the automatic one did a great job. However, when turning on the projector and adjusting focus and keystone, I noticed that the right and left edges of the screen are yellow. I can explain why this is so. The AUN U002 projector uses warm LED light source, unlike many other projectors with cold LED lights. Why? Primarily because warm light reduces eye strain, while projectors with cold LED lights have a more uniform white screen to the naked eye. This often results in a darker center and a more intense image with a blue tint that can become harsh or blinding over time. In addition, warm light projectors have a clear image without optical distortion, like arched edges at the top and bottom of the image. So for long-term comfort, it is better to choose projectors with a warm LED light source. We will talk more about image quality later, but for now, let's check out screen mirroring. The projector has Miracast app for screencasting of Android devices and TV casting app for iOS devices. I have an iPhone, so I will be using TV casting. You don't need to do anything else on the projector, so just take your phone, go to screen mirroring and select the projector. I would like to remind you that the AUN U002 projector supports dual-band Wi-Fi. As for Bluetooth, you can use a projector as a Bluetooth speaker for your smartphone.
Enter Bluetooth speaker mode.
It makes sense because there are two 5-watt speakers inside. The volume level is very high. I couldn't listen to more than 60% of a volume because it is very loud. However, I miss the bass. Let's listen to some music. You know, perhaps the main complaint about this projector from me is the fan noise. It is really noisy. The noise level near the projector is about 58 decibels. And it is about 50 decibels at 1 meter. This is one of the noisiest LED projectors I have ever had. On the other hand, the loudspeakers block out the fan noise, so you don't really hear it while watching a movie. Finally, let's talk about image quality. First, I should say that the AUN U002 has a good throw ratio. I have placed the projector at about 3 meters from the wall and got a screen size of about 120 inches. It is a really big screen. The projector supports a maximum screen size of 300 inches at 8.43 meters. I think the picture quality is the main feature of this projector. I really like it. The 1080p Full HD native resolution makes it crisp and clear. You can read text without any problems. I don't know the contrast ratio of this projector, but the colors are really good. I mentioned before that the brightness ranges from 10,000 to 12,000 lumens, but I don't know how much that is in ANSI. In my experience, and I have tested over 100 projectors already, the brightness of this projector is about 850 ANSI. This is not exact, just my guess.
Security, we need you to select the set unit to take on the mission. This is the newest model available.
However, I like its brightness. You can even see the projection pretty well in a room with light.
How are you?
I just love accountants.
That's a coincidence.
I like camping.
So do I.
I thought I saw an Airstream.
How are you?
I just love accountants.
That's a coincidence.
I like camping.
So do I.
I thought I saw an Airstream in one of your photos.
Yes, that's my home.
39, four-man rush. Mahomes, pressure, steps away, running around, way back there, throws as he gets hit. It's up there.
Let's watch some more videos in the dark.
In fairness, the bomb was actually meant to kill him. He gassed a security briefing.
Smart people on every side are close to panicking.
Hey, little girl, stop! What do you want, little one?
Final fours, and here we go. And the Red Raiders will be here first. Chance connected from 3. Great start for the Blue.
There's Hurts. Can't find him.
The hand fighting's going on down that field. What do you think, Mike? Certainly.
Racers to 24 is a very significant variable in increasing that chaos.
And that's what we need.
Yes,
We need
yes,
that chaos.
absolutely.
That's what makes it so good.
So I am ready to draw conclusions about the AUN U002 projector. You know, it is pretty big and heavy, but I like the design. It looks very nice, and the build quality is also good. By the way, a fully sealed optical engine is what you should look for when choosing a projector. The AUN U002 is protected from dust ingress. The smart system is always good in a projector because you can install any Android application on it. But you should note that the AUN U002 is not Netflix certified, so it doesn't have an official app. The built-in speaker is very loud, which is good for large rooms or outdoors. The image quality is decent, the projection is sharp and rich in colors. The brightness is enough even for use in a room with light, not to mention a dark room. Overall, the AUN U002 is a good projector for its money. Thank you for watching. See you soon!